The Path of Arya and the Slave, an epic journey for equality. Long ago, in a time when the forests were endless and mountains reached the heavens, the lands on the border of Europe and Asia were home to diverse and thriving tribes. These tribes, each with its own language, customs, and traditions, often coexisted, but just as often clashed. Among them was a proud and noble people known as the Arya. Their name, derived from their ancient tongue, meant honourable or noble-born, and they cherished their rich heritage. In one such Arya village, a young woman named Arya had grown up listening to tales of her ancestors, their bravery, and their wisdom. She had inherited not only their strength but also their vision for a united and harmonious future. Her people saw her as a beacon of hope, destined to lead them toward prosperity. But fate is seldom kind. One fateful day, their peaceful existence was shattered when warriors from the north descended upon their lands. These warriors, members of Finnish origin tribes, were fierce and determined. They sought not just land but also captives to labor for them. Arya's village was no match for the northern warriors. They fought bravely but were overwhelmed. Many of Arya's people were taken as prisoners, shackled and marched north into unfamiliar, icy territories. Among them was Arya herself, her spirit unbroken despite the chains that bound her. For days, they trudged through snow-laden forests and across frozen rivers, each step taking them further from their homeland. The northern tribes saw the captives as a means to sustain their growing settlements. To them, Arya and her people were nothing more than tools. But Arya refused to be silenced. In the cramped and harsh quarters where the captives were kept, she began to tell stories of her people's past, tales of strength, unity, and freedom. Her words kindled a fire in the hearts of her fellow captives. Soon, even some of the northern tribe members who overheard her began to question their beliefs. One such listener was Väinö, a young guard tasked with watching over the captives. Väinö had always felt out of place in his tribe. While others celebrated conquest and domination, he found himself drawn to the idea of equality and understanding. Hearing Arya's stories stirred something deep within him. He began to see her not as a prisoner but as a leader and a symbol of resilience. Over time, Väinö and Arya began to converse in secret. Arya told him about her people's traditions, their reverence for nature, and their belief in the dignity of all life. Väinö, in turn, shared his doubts about his own tribe's practices. Their conversations grew bolder, and eventually, Väinö confessed his desire to help the captives escape. Together, Arya and Väinö devised a daring plan. The captives would break free during the darkest hours of night, using tools and supplies Väinö had secretly gathered. They would cross the frozen river that marked the edge of the northern tribe's territory and make their way to safety in the dense forests beyond. The night of the escape was fraught with danger. Snow fell heavily, muffling their movements but also making their path treacherous. The group of captives, led by Arya, moved swiftly and silently, their breath visible in the cold night air. Väinö led the way, using his knowledge of the land to evade patrols. At one point, they came dangerously close to being discovered, but Arya's quick thinking saved them. She mimicked the howl of a wolf, convincing the guards it was nothing more than wildlife. After what felt like an eternity, the group reached the river. The ice creaked ominously under their weight as they crossed, each step a gamble between freedom and death. When they finally reached the other side, many fell to their knees in relief and gratitude. But Arya and Väinö knew their journey was far from over. In the weeks that followed, Arya and Väinö led the group through the wilderness, foraging for food and finding shelter wherever they could. Along the way, they encountered other tribes, some hostile, others sympathetic. Arya's eloquence and Väinö's earnestness won over many, and soon their group grew into a small community. This community became a symbol of hope and unity. People from different tribes and backgrounds came together, each contributing their unique skills and traditions. Arya and Väinö preached a simple but profound message: no one is born above or below another, and strength lies in diversity and cooperation. Over the years, Arya's name became legend. Among the northern tribes, a name transformed into Orja, a word that came to mean slave. Yet, this word carried with it a deeper meaning, a reminder of her defiance and the resilience of the human spirit. The tales of Arya and Väinö were passed down through generations, inspiring countless others to fight for justice and equality. Their story was more than a tale of escape, it was a call to a new way of life, where people of all backgrounds could coexist in mutual respect. Arya and Väinö's legacy lives on in every corner of the land, a testament to the power of understanding and the enduring pursuit of freedom.